Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Painted South. And if you're new here, welcome. Okay, so today's video is going to be very casual. I have some things to share with you that I've been working on, maybe some things that might give you some ideas. And I also have a really yummy recipe to share with you, and I will put that at the end of the video in case you're not interested in any type of yummy food, which you should be because it's so good. It's perfect for December mornings with coffee. I just love it. So I will share that at the end of the video, and I'll put the link from the original recipe that I found on Pinterest below in the description box. In the last couple of my videos, you'll know that I've been working on the front porch. I've been doing some spray painted trees to give sort of a blue spruce look, like a blue-green look to some of my older Christmas trees. And I wanted to do one more so that I would have a trio on the one side of the porch. So my first idea was to use the very top of an 8-foot tree that I have in the garage. Now we're not going to use it this year. I've already used a different tree that we've had for many years that we had gotten from Lowe's. So I wasn't going to use that 8-foot tree. It's from Puleo International, and they sent it to me several years ago when we were living at our last house. And I will link that video in the description box below in case you missed it and decorating that one. That was a lot of fun, and it's a great tree. But I was going to use just the very top of it, and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the very top of the tree. It's a nice quality tree. It's pretty full. The branches are pretty stiff, so you can hang some fairly heavy ornaments on there, and I really like it. And it was pre-lit. Now, like most pre-lit trees, they eventually go out. You can find them all over Marketplace. People are just trying to get rid of them because they don't want to mess with them. Well, all the lights are out in this entire top section. I haven't even checked the other two sections of the Christmas tree, but I was going to use this tree, and I was going to add some blue-green pieces in here to tie it in with the other trees, but to not spray paint this Christmas tree because I thought there's probably a lot of people who don't want to spray paint their Christmas trees permanently. So I was trying to come up with some other ideas, but I don't have a lot of time to order new lights and try to fix all of these and so on and so forth. So I may use this somewhere else in the house, but I'm not going to use it on the front porch. I don't really want to mess with the lights. I mean, I might string one strand through here and use it somewhere else, but otherwise it's going to go back in the garage until next year. So that was plan A, and that was a bust. So yesterday, all of the lights went out in the main Christmas tree that I have in the living room, and I haven't shared that yet because I haven't finished decorating it, and I'm glad because I probably would have had to take a lot of the ornaments off to get to the cord that was in the center of the tree. So I had one of those multi-green cords going up through the center, and what happened was that ended up burning out at the prong. I'm glad it didn't catch on fire, but that was the issue. So I went to Walmart to replace that cord, to get a new cord, and then we're going to have to work on the outlet situation. For some reason, it just wants to keep pulling out of that particular outlet. So I may have to replace that outlet. So I went to Walmart, like I said, to get that cord, and I went to the garden center because that's where the cords are around all the Christmas trees and all the other Christmas stuff. And I saw one of these little trees that I really loved, and I said I wasn't going to buy a lot of stuff this year or any new Christmas trees or garland, and I've done really, really well, but I saw one that I thought, okay, my other little one didn't work. I could get this one. It already had the snow and the little fake beady crystal things on it, but it did have some bright red berries. And I actually love that tree, and I love the large version that they have there as well. And if they go on clearance for like 50 or 75% at the end of this year, I may get one of those for next year because they're only $1.99, and I just love the tree. So anyway, I went ahead and picked up one of those small trees, and I brought it home, opened it all up, and I put it out there, and it totally clashed. And then I tried to add in my little blue-green stuff, and it just looked horrible, if I'm being honest. So plan B was a bust also, but I really like that little tree. It was only $43. And I decided to keep it. I'm going to use that one in our second guest room, which is also kind of my office. It's like office, guest room, and my little makeup table. It's a multi-purpose room right now, so that needs a tree. So I think I'm going to keep that one for that room, and because it has some bright red berries on it, that may be the only room that I do brighter red and white this year. I'm not sure. So to be continued on that little tree and that room. But that's what I got yesterday, so that wasn't going to work. So I decided I'm running out of time. I need to just whip something together. So I started digging through my stash, and I found all of these random little pieces of garland that were not high quality. And I thought, well, I'll paint all of these, just different little sections and pieces, and put them all together on another cone tree. If you saw my previous video, I made 2 topiary trees using tomato cages. Well, I had one of these grapevine wreath it was like a grapevine wreath tree on a tomato cage basically, and it had been spray painted gold. I thrifted it a long time ago. So I thought that I would just use that one, and I would spray it the blue-green color and then spray all of the other garlands, which I did, and I just wrapped them around that little cone shape, and it made the perfect little Christmas tree. And so I'm going to use that one in place of the Puleo top tree, and I'm going to put it on the same little pedestal or capital base that I had my husband drill a hole in the bottom. It's actually upside down, so I flipped it upside down and we drilled a hole in the top, and I was going to put this little 3-foot tree down in the center, which looked perfect. But because this is a cone base, and it'll just sit on top, and it works perfectly. So let me show you that little tree. I think it turned out cute, and I need to put some lights on it, and I'll see if I want to do anything else to it. Well, let's take a look and see how it looks, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I have 3 garlands here. Yes, I'm just working out here in the dirt. I didn't want to bring my tarp out here and everything, so I wouldn't be out here that long. So I got this eucalyptus color. It isn't a satin, but you can't tell that it's satin, so that's fine. I was going to get modern mint, but it was high gloss, so I did not get that one. And then this is the coastal sage I've been using to try to get that blue spruce look. And as you can see, it's a beautiful color, and it's a lot more blue. And then this one is just that light green. I mean, it is a gorgeous color. I really like it. I will have to see how it works with some of my trees. So I sprayed this one with the coastal sage first, and then hit it with a little mist of the eucalyptus. So it's really kind of hard to tell on film, but it's a combo of the two. So anyway, an idea for you is if you have a tree and it's pre-lit and you don't want to spray paint your tree, but you want to add that little bit of color, grab some extra garlands, a little cheap garland. I mean, you can pick these up for next to nothing, especially used at yard sales. I mean, people just get rid of them. And go ahead and just spray them, and then you can either do it whole or cut them into pieces and tuck them in your tree. All right, so I found some more random pieces of garland. And on these, I ended up doing coastal sage with the eucalyptus color over top. This one has more eucalyptus, these two, I'm sorry. So obviously it's like a lighter green, but it still looks really nice. There's a little blue-green underneath, and then that one is more of just the coastal sage with a tiny bit of the eucalyptus color on it. So you can mix these both or use either one or both together. So I'm going to do the same thing for this. Coastal sage with the eucalyptus over top. Alright, so those are finished. You can see those have a lot more paint applied to them, and these are more misted with both colors. So that's what the cone tree looks like with all of those little pieces of garland wrapped around. Now that top does not look so pretty, so I had 2 pieces of greenery, and I'm going to put them together and put them down in top, and it's going to add a little bit of height to the tree and give it more of a real tree looking top. So let me put that in, and then also I wanted it just a little bit taller. So I had another one of these wreaths that I think they were like $2 at Michael's. They would have sales and have these super cheapy little wreaths for $2. So I just went ahead and spray painted one of these. So I'm going to put this on the little capital base, and then I'll add the tree, and we'll put this topper in and see what it looks like. Okay, so here is that third tree. This is probably the worst lighting I could ask for to show you the finished product. But it is getting in the afternoon and the sun is just glaring in here on the porch. So I know it may be kind of hard to tell, but it's a lighter green. I did use that eucalyptus color over top of that sage, coastal sage color. So it's really hard to tell in this lighting, but I think it looks really cute on that capital down there. And I would like to have the height just a little bit lower maybe than that tree there, but I think it's good. This is just a nice idea. I always love seeing groups of trees on people's porches or even in their home, or if they have like a massive foyer, it always looks really pretty. So again, sorry for the lighting. I just have to get this filmed when I can. So I will film it again in the home tour and have everything tweaked. I've been debating on putting a little bit of white on there just so it kind of has a little bit more pop. Let me know what you guys think. I may add that before I do the home tour. Well, the sun is shining in here and there's a lot of road noise, but I wanted to go ahead and show you this bench. I just had some extra fabric on hand and I thought this looked a lot more upscale than that other fabric that was on it when I purchased it. And all I did for now is just wrap it around. I may have a cover made from this fabric, but it just gives a little bit more of a neutral look to it. And then I'm working on the pillows. I have that brighter green one, that turquoise one, and a gold pillow, and I also got these from Walmart. So while I was at Walmart, I picked up some of these pillows. Now I don't consider these Christmas decor, even though I'm going to be using them for Christmas or during Christmas, but these are great all the way through up to spring, and they're a beautiful neutral color. You get two for $20, $19.99, and they're 20 by 20. These are super, super soft. They feel like they're a much higher quality and I just love them. So I actually got 2 packs of these to use throughout Christmas and the winter. I'm trying to get these in some good lighting, but the sun's shining in and there's lots of shadows. But they're very creamy and then they have a little bit of a warm tone throughout, but without a pattern or any kind of animal print on them. So if you would like some pillows, these are at Walmart. So that's what I've been working on outside. I made those couple little purchases. I'm still being very good. It's hard not to spend any money at all. It's very, very hard. Even just buying cords and lights and things like that you need. So it's hard not to spend any money, but I'm doing a lot better than I usually would. So I'm giving myself a pat on the back. And I've saved a lot of money painting things. So I'm doing well. So now I want to share that amazing recipe with you. If you make it, I don't think you'll be disappointed. There's also an alternative one that doesn't use cranberry and orange. It's blueberry and lemon, and it is so good. Absolutely wonderful. I found it on Pinterest, so I'm going to link the original recipe in the description box below, but I'll give a very brief overview of the recipe. It's not going to be really long. I'm just going to show you how to make it very quickly, explain it, and show you what it looks like when it's done. And it's so good. I wish you were here to have some with me. I always tweak my recipes just a little bit, and so I'll show you in the video what I did differently. I have made it exactly like the video. I've also made it with vegan options where you don't use milk or anything like that, yogurt or anything. You can use a lot of different options as far as the dairy goes, but the rest of it you pretty much need to keep the same. And it's truly amazing. It's so good. Now this time I used fresh cranberries. I have used frozen cranberries. I have used frozen mixed fruit. I've done all different kinds of things. But the base of the cake is so good that you can tweak it however you want and it's going to turn out amazing. So let's check out that recipe. So this recipe is one that I found on Pinterest from alexandracooks.com. Here is a list of the ingredients from the original recipe. I made a double batch, half for us and half to put into a casserole dish that we were returning to my in-laws that was from Thanksgiving dinner leftovers. I like to use coconut oil and flour to prep my baking dishes, but you can use whatever works for you. After washing the fresh cranberries, I tossed them in some flour and set them aside. Next, you'll need to zest a fresh orange, and I always add a squeeze of the juice, or you can use organic orange peel. For this recipe, I have combined both. To start, I creamed the butter and sugar together. Now I like to use this challenge butter, and I also like to use this Xoxoxo pure cane sugar. Next, I added the eggs and vanilla. Now remember, I'm doubling this batch, so that's why there's 2 eggs. If you don't have any already made buttermilk on hand, there are lots of alternative options. I actually used Greek yogurt and half with a splash of lime juice because I didn't have any lemon and I didn't want to use vinegar. You can almost use anything for this, even plant-based options, but I really like the richness and the moisture that yogurt provides, so I end up using it in a lot of my recipes. In a separate bowl, I mix together the flour, salt, and baking powder. I like to use pink Himalayan salt. I almost never use regular table salt. Next, I added some of the flour mixture and some of the yogurt mixture to the creamed mixture, just a little bit at a time, and you want to mix that until everything is blended well, but don't overmix. Now this batter should be very thick. It should not be thin or runny at all. Next, I added the cranberries and gently folded them into the batter, making sure they were evenly dispersed. I divided the batter into my 2 prepared pans, and then I sprinkled just a little bit of sugar on top. I always seem to have to bake my cakes for longer than the recipe states. Everyone's ovens are different, so just keep an eye on yours, but you should end up with a wonderful golden brown cranberry and orange breakfast cake that is sure to be a hit and a favorite treat this holiday season. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I'm so glad you spent some time with me today. I know this is a little bit of a shorter video. Sometimes I do long ones and sometimes they're kind of short. I have on my work clothes still, so I'm going to get back to work on some more decorating and DIYs. And so I can't wait to see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to do so. I'm actually almost at 50,000 subscribers the last time I checked, which is a huge milestone. I just happened to see it the other day. I don't really keep up with that stuff too much, but I was like, oh wow, that's a big milestone. So yay. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. And maybe we'll be over that threshold here by the time you see this video. So thanks again for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.